Okay, good morning, guys. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, so I'm going to log in into my AWS account, and today we'll see how to launch our first server. Okay, so some of you might have joined for the first class. Some of you are the new students, right? Uh, Please confirm who has joined for the first time today.
So yes, sir. Myself, Jayant.
All right. Okay. Hi, Jayant. And if anyone else has joined for the first time, uh, please wait. Okay. Once we complete this session, I'm going to give you a quick demo of what we are going to discuss. Okay. So let me tell you one thing that we have started our classes. This is our second class, and we have just completed what is AWS and all, just introduction to what is cloud computing and all. So don't worry, I'm going to take a backup of what is completed so far after this session. Yeah, for everyone. Okay, for everyone, whoever has joined for the first time, I'm going to take a backup for you guys after this class at 8:30. So don't worry about it. Okay, just wait for a while. Just continue and see what I'm trying to show to you. All right, so today we'll see how to launch our first server. Okay, first Windows server in AWS. So let me log in into the AWS console. Okay, so the Google Drive is getting ready, guys. Okay, for our group, the Google Drive is getting ready, and I'm going to share all the documents, how to create the AWS account, how to launch the server, and all. Everything I'm going to showcase you. Um, all the documents are ready. I'm going to share it with you over the Google Drive. Meanwhile, the Google Drive is getting ready. I'll share those documents in WhatsApp group. All right. Okay. Please go ahead. All right, guys. So this is our AWS uh, console. Okay. So I given a quick introduction right yesterday in the last class on Friday. So this is how you will be seeing once you log in into the AWS console page. Here we have regions. Okay. I told you right, AWS have launched their infrastructure, their data centers and all in different regions in the world, right? So you can see all those regions here. So once you click here, you can see different cities names, right? So I'm going to launch our server in this region. Okay, Mumbai. You can launch anywhere. You can launch in Hong Kong, Singapore, wherever you want. Okay, even North California, wherever you want, you can launch your servers. So I'm going to showcase you how to launch a Windows server in Mumbai. Okay, Asia Pacific Mumbai region. So in whichever region you want to select, click on that region. Okay. So once I clicked on Mumbai region, the region name has changed. Okay, and currently whatever the infrastructure I'm going to set up, like whether I'm going to launch any server, whether I'm going to do any network changes, all those will reflect here in this region only. Okay, so whatever the changes you're doing, all those changes will reflect to that particular region itself only. It will not reflect in other regions. Remember that point. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on services. Okay, click on services, and in compute there is something called compute module. See here, compute module. Click on this compute module, and here you'll see something called EC2. Okay, EC2. Now in this EC2 only we are going to launch our servers. Okay, so let me click on that. Okay, before proceeding further how to launch a server and all, let me give you a quick introduction to EC2. What is EC2 and all right? EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, in shortcut we call it as EC2. So EC2 is the service in Amazon Web Services in our AWS cloud. EC2 is the service. It is the most frequently used, most widely used service which is used for launching resizable servers. Okay, resizable servers. What do you mean by resizable? See, today you have launched one server. Okay, the configuration of that server is 1 GB RAM and one CPU core. One processor is there. Okay, one CPU processor is there. You are using this server, and tomorrow you came to know that the server is very slow. It's not working up to the mark. You feel that the application which you are running on this server is very slow because of the configuration. So what you can do, AWS is providing us the option to resize it. You can increase or you can decrease the configuration of the server according to your project requirement. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll resize it. I'll increase the configuration. Okay, I'll make it as 2 GB RAM and 2 processing CPU core. All right, so this is what elastic means. Okay, elastic. So AWS EC2 service gives us the option to resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Okay, so whatever the servers we have, we can increase or decrease the configuration based upon your requirement. All right, what is the next term in this compute? See, compute means we are going to launch our servers within fraction of minutes. Okay, within minutes, within 1 or 2 minutes we can launch this server. Basically in physical, if you're going to set up a physical server, what you have to do, first you have to buy the server, right? You have to give a order to Dell, or you have to give an order to IBM, right? The server will come, you have to set it up, you have to provide electricity, you have to install operating system, you have to install the application and all, right? How much time it will take? At least it will take 2 to 3 days of time. But instead of doing all those things, the same configuration server in AWS you can launch within minutes, okay? So that is what the option of, that is what the power of using cloud when compared to physical infrastructure. All right, so we can achieve launching of infrastructure within minutes. That is what the second point. Okay, compute. And cloud means obviously we are launching our infrastructure in cloud, right? So that is why the name cloud has been given. All right, all the servers which we are going to launch, all the services which we are going to use are hosted on cloud infrastructure. Cloud means somewhere in other region it is hosted, and we are going to connect it to those resources with the help of internet. All right, so this is what EC2 means. EC2 means the servers, here, see, when I'm talking about servers, the machines, okay, systems, EC2 has a separate name. In AWS, we use a separate name for those servers. We call them as instances. Okay, instance. Instance means server. Okay, the machine which you are going to launch. So remember this point, instance. So here onwards, whenever I use the word server, system, PC, desktop, okay, or box, VM, or virtual machine, all right, remote server, what are the names I'm going to use? You just need to understand that I'm signifying, okay, I'm denoting instance only. All these are different names, okay. So whenever I'm going to use these terms, remember that I'm just calling instance in other names. Okay. See, basically we have different kinds of operating systems, right? We have different kinds of operating systems. The major operating systems are what? We have Windows, we have Unix, right? These are the main operating systems in this world. Now, using Unix, okay, a guy named Linus Torvalds, he has created his own operating system. He took the source code of Unix, he customized it, and he modified it, and he released his own operating system, which we call it as Linux. Okay, some guys call it as Linux, some guys call it as Linux. It's up to you. Whatever you want to call, you can call it. Both are correct. Okay, so I prefer calling it as Linux. Now, again, this Linux is free. It is open source. Anyone can use it. Anyone can download it. Anyone can use it. So some companies have taken this Linux, they have customized it, and they have released their own version of Linux. Okay, so in that, the first one is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, Red Hat Enterprise Linux is the first one. The next one is we have something called Ubuntu. Okay, this comes under Debian family. This is again a separate operating system which comes under Linux family. Okay, Linux. Similarly, Amazon Web Services have taken this Linux operating system. They installed a few applications in it. They have modified some changes. They have done some changes. They have customized it and they have released it with their own name called as Amazon Linux. Okay, like this, we have a lot of operating system, guys. Linux is open source, right? Anyone can download it and anyone can modify it and they can release their own operating system. All right, so apart from these, we have CentOS, we have Fedora, we have Linux Mint, we have SUSE Linux, we have Kali Linux. Okay, this is for ethical hacking. Okay, we don't use this, mainly used by ethical hackers who are practicing hacking and all. They use this for hacking purposes. Very advanced Linux. All right, we have different operating systems in Linux. Similarly, like this Linux only, some few people have taken Unix operating system, some organizations, and they have released their own operating system using this Unix. Okay, they customized Unix, they released their own operating system. Some of them are, mm, we have something called, Sun. Okay, Sun Solaris. So there was a company called Sun, and they released their own operating system. So they use this Unix and they release their own operating system. Now Sun has been overtaken by Oracle. Okay, Oracle company. Okay. Now apart from this, we have You have Apple, okay? They have released iOS, and we have IBM. They have released AIX, okay? Similarly, all these companies have taken Unix. They have released their own operating system, guys. Even HP has their own. HP has HPUX, okay? Hewlett Packard. So all these companies have taken this Linux, they have taken this Unix and they have customized it and they have modified and they have released their own operating systems for the servers. Okay, for servers, not for desktops and all. All right, so remember this point. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to launch a server in Windows. Okay, tomorrow we'll see how to launch a server in this one, Amazon Linux and Red Hat Linux. We'll see in tomorrow's class. So what is Windows? Windows is a separate operating system mainly designed for desktops and servers. Okay, so the main advantage of using Windows is we have a good user interface. Now what you're seeing on my screen is Windows only, right? Most of you are using Windows. So I'm going to launch one Windows instance now. All right. So let me log in into the let me launch one Windows instance and show it to you. So see, here something called launch instance is there. See, launch instance. We have to click here to launch our instance. Uh, Mahesh, I understand your doubt. I'll explain it to you once this is completed. Okay. So Mahesh is asking how to increase and decrease the server size automatically. Okay, I'll explain it to you afterwards. Give me a moment. So guys, we have something called launch instance. See here, launch instance. Click on this launch instance. Okay, so what, see, we will get total of 7 stages, 7 phases to launch our server. Okay, all these 7 stages we have to complete to launch our instance every time. Okay, every time we have to follow this. So the what is the first thing? The first thing is selecting the operating system. Just now I've given you a quick introduction, right? What kind of operating systems we have and what is the operating system we are going to use. We're going to launch something called Windows. Okay, Windows Server. So this is the first stage, choosing the operating system. Okay, so what it is here, see the name, choose an Amazon machine image. See, in AWS, they have already created operating systems. They have installed some applications in it, and they have given us the option to select different kind of operating systems here. Okay, now if you see here, this is Amazon Linux. In this machine, we have all these things installed. Read this line. So they have installed all these things and they have kept this operating system ready for us. Okay. Similarly, if you take this Amazon Linux, we have all these things installed on this machine and some latest software packages are already installed. So when you select this operating system, Amazon Linux will be installed along with this highlighted part. All right. So that is why these are customized images, right? These are customized images by AWS. That's why these are called as Amazon machine image. Okay. These are created by Amazon company, right? So that is why these are called as Amazon machine image. In shortcut, we call it as AMI. Okay, we call it as AMI. Okay. See here, right next to the operating system, we have something called free tier eligible. What do you mean by that? Free tier eligible means, I told you, right? We are we have created a free tier account. In AWS, we have created a free tier account. Now, as I told you, not everything is free in AWS. Okay, only certain features are free, certain services are free, which we can use it in AWS for completely, and completely free usage is there. Now, if you select this operating system and if you launch your server, you're not going to get any charge. Okay, you're not going to get any bill. But there are some operating systems which don't have this tag. Okay, scroll down. See, here we have Mac OS. Do you find this free tier eligible here? No, right? So which means that if you select this, you're going to get bill. Okay, you're going to get charged. Okay, scroll down. See here in Windows also, in some Windows we have free tier eligible, in some Windows we don't have. So if you select this, you are going to be get billed for this operating system. Okay, you'll be getting some amount in your billing. All right, so not everything is free. Okay, you have to select whatever the free options are there, you can select it. All right, some of the Amazon Linux operating systems are also not free. All right, clear so far? Any doubts? Please ask. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to launch this one. Okay, because this is a free tier account. Okay, free operating system. Now what is this operating system? See the name, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base version. Okay, this is a data center edition. I'm going to launch this in launch my server using this operating system. All right, so what you have to do, you have to click on select. See on the right hand side we have select button, right? Click on select. This is the second stage, which is instance type. Okay, instance. Let me give you a quick introduction to instance type. See, in AWS, the instances are attached with a instance type. See, earlier when the AWS was launched for the first time, few people who were not having enough knowledge about servers, they used to launch servers with random configuration, some invalid configurations they used to launch, like a server with 1 GB RAM, 10 CPU core, okay, or they used to launch like 1 GB RAM and 10 CPU, 100 CPU core, so which is not valid, right? This will not work. It is like taking a bus and you're attaching a bike engine to it. Will that bus will work? No, right? It will be not able to pull anyone. So in the same way, here also you're running a server on 100 CPU processor, but that requires at least 10 to 15 GB of RAM. Am I right? So here you're launching just 1 GB of RAM. So that is not valid. The instance will be very, very slow. So what used to happen is customers used to always complain that our instances are very slow on AWS. Okay, so because of this, AWS came up with a plan called instance type. What AWS has done is they have created few sets of instance types and they have given some names to it. And in these configurations, we have to select them. Okay, so these are instance types are predefined configuration types for instances. Okay, so we have some certain sets. Okay, certain pairs are created. Pair, different pairs have been created for RAM and CPU, and we are going to select from that. Okay, one is one CPU core, half GB RAM. Okay, half GB RAM. We call this as T2 Nano. Okay, the name of this configuration is T2 Nano. In the same way, we have one CPU core and 1 GB RAM. We call this as T2 Micro. This is actually free. Okay, we can use it how much we want, we can use it. There is no charge for this. What is the next one? We have one CPU core and 2 GB RAM. Okay, the name of this configuration is T2 small. Similarly, we have 2 CPU core and 4 GB of RAM. We call this as T2 medium. Similarly, okay, we have a lot of configurations like this. we can select what are the configuration we want. We can select and we can attach it to our server. So I'm going to select T2 micro. So my instance, my server will be launched with one CPU core and 1 GB of RAM. Understood, right? What is the instance type? So AWS have come up with a plan. They have created predefined configurations out of which we have to select, and that will be attached to our instance. If you have any queries, please ask. So see here, these all are different types, guys. And if you see here, T2 micro is having one tag called free tier eligible, which means that this is free. Okay, we are not going to get charged for this. If you come down, if you scroll down, come down to the last. Try to read this line. So what is this? 448 CPU core, 6144 GB of RAM. Okay, so these are not servers, guys. These are supercomputers. Okay, these are data centers. And if you select this, you will get lakhs of rupees as your billing amount. Okay, even if you launch it for 1 or 2 minutes, you'll get a lot of bill for this. Okay, so don't go near to these kind of configurations. One of my previous student have selected this, and he got for just for 1 minute he got 25,000 rupees bill. Okay, so I suggest you not to go to this part. Okay, so stick to the starting instances only. T2 small, T2 micro, T2 nano. These are enough for us. So I'm going to select T2 micro and I'm going to click on next. See, I told you, right? EC2 gives us the option to launch any number of servers. Okay, that is the power of cloud computing. In AWS, we can launch one server at a time, or if you want 10 servers, we can launch it at a time. If you want 100, we can launch it. Even if you want 1,000 servers, we can launch it at a time. Okay, so there is no limitation. So where to launch, you have to give the number here. If you want to launch one server with this configuration, you can give one here. If you want 100, you have to give 100 number. I'm going to keep this as one only. Okay, one is enough for me at this moment. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on next. You might ask me, Venkat, what are all these things? We'll discuss all these things in the coming classes. If I start explaining you all these things now, that will create a lot of confusion, but we'll discuss step by step, we'll discuss in the coming classes. All right, click on next. This is the fourth stage where we have to add storage. Okay, where we have to add the storage. See, by default, for Windows server, for Windows instance, we'll be using 30 GB of free storage, 30 GB. Okay, minimum 30 GB is required for launching that Windows instance. See, we are free tier account, right? We are using a free tier account and we are free tier eligible customers. We are getting 30 GB of RAM for free usage. Okay, up to 30 GB you can you can launch servers. So 30 GB I'm launching. But if I increase this to 40, what will happen? For this 30 GB they are giving free, right? So the rest of the 10 additional GB which I'm going to launch, for this 10 GB I'm going to get bill. Okay, so 30 GB it is up to 30 GB it is free. Whatever you launch more than that, okay, what are the excessive part you are launching, for that part you are going to get bill. Okay, so remember this point and launch according to it. If you really need this, if you want to really launch more than 30 GB, then only launch, or else stick to below 30 GB. Okay, since for launching one Windows instance we need 30 GB, right? So I'm going to make it as 30 only, and we can click on next. tags. Okay, tag. See, whenever you want to give any tag to your instance, you can give it. Okay, tag is nothing but like a name. Okay, whatever the name you want to give to your server, you can give it. We can give here also, and also we can give it in the home page. Once the server is launched, we can launch it. We can still give it. I'll showcase it. How I'll show you how to do that. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, guys. So click on next, and here this is the sixth stage, which is security group. See, we are launching our server in a remote region, right? In Mumbai region, I'm launching it. And where am I sitting? I'm sitting in Hyderabad. I'm going to connect it to that instance using internet, right? So in order to connect it to a remote server, okay, where it is launching, where it is working in a different location, I need to connect it over internet. And that server, whatever the instance we are launching, that instance should accept my request, right? That instance should accept my request. So for Windows Server, we have to open a port called RDP. RDP. Now, what do you mean by port? See, this is our server, and I'm sitting in Hyderabad. Okay, this is my laptop. When I'm trying to connect it to this instance over internet, this Windows Server should accept my request. Okay, this Windows Server should accept my request. So that is why we are going to open a port called RDP. Okay, RDP means what? RDP means remote desktop protocol. Okay, this is the protocol. This is the rule which we have to open it up. We have to configure, we have to open it up in Windows Server for accepting the remote request. Okay, so using this protocol only, we can connect it to that instance. We can log in into that instance. All right, so the port number of this RDP is 3389. Okay, here you can see here. Okay, 3389 is the port number, and if you open this port only then we can connect it to that instance. Not only this, we can launch multiple ports. We have all these options. See here, all these options. Whatever the application you are running, you can launch the required port according to it. See, port acts as a door, guys. See, whenever you want to go inside any room, first what you have to do? First you have to open the door, right? Only then you can enter into it. In the same way, in order to log in into that server, the port has to be open. Only through that port, the network will be connected and we will be able to log in into that instance. All right. So I'm going to create our first security group, and in this security group, I'm going to open this port. You can give any name. If you want to modify this, you can give any name to it also. Let me give 08am DevOps. Okay, you can change the name as well if you want. See, here we have something called source. What do you mean by source? I mean, who are going to connect to this server? Okay, so we have three options. One is custom, second one is anywhere, and third one is my IP. When I select my IP, my laptop's IP will be taken. Only I will be having the access to connect to this Windows server. This is the IP address which is given by the internet service provider of mine. Okay, my internet service provider has given the IP address, right? That is what this IP address is. Now using this IP address, I'm going to connect through my laptop. Okay, that is is what my IP means. If you select the second option anywhere, this is the IP range. This is the IP range. Whoever is having internet, they can connect it to the server. Now this is a little bit risky. Okay, whoever is having internet and whoever is having the username and password for this server, they can log in into that instance. Okay, so usually in whenever you are working in real time, whenever you are working in project, it will be not anywhere, but it will be in custom. They'll keep it as custom, and they will give the set of IP addresses, the list of IP addresses who are going to connect to that server. All right, so at this moment I'm going to keep it as anywhere. Okay, anywhere, and I'm going to log in into that, because see, our server is not having any important and any confidential data, right? So I don't have anything to lose, so that's why I'm going to keep it as anywhere, and I'm going to launch our server. All right, so this is the sixth stage where we configure the ports. Security groups is very important. Okay, security groups is very important, where security groups acts as a firewall. This is the first stage of firewall for our instance. Okay, this is where we configure and where we modify the port numbers. Click on the next part, review and launch. This is the last stage, seventh stage, which is review and launch. In this review and launch stage, what are the options we have selected so far? We can review it, we can check them, and in case if you want to do any last minute changes, we can change it. Okay, see on the right hand side we have edit button. See here, edit, edit, edit. What are the changes you want to see, or what are the changes you want to do last time before launching this server? You can do it. Okay, so click on launch. Once you are confirming all the settings are correct, click on launch button. See, AWS follows a different concept called key pair. Key pair. Okay, using this key pair only, we can log in into the server. Okay, key pair is a it acts like authentication part. Okay, for authentication, for connecting to that server, we need username and password, right? Using this key pair only, we are going to get our, okay, using our key pair only, we are going to get our username and password. All right, so what we have to do is we have to create one key pair now. Okay, so in this option, select one option called create a new key pair. Okay, select this create a new key pair and give any name to it. Okay, so I'm going to give 08 AM December DevOps. Okay, give any name like this, or else I'll do one thing. I'm going to give something very simple like 1st December instance. Give any name like this and click on download key pair. What will happen? A file will be downloaded. See here, a file will be downloaded like this. This file is very important. Don't lose this file. Don't delete this file, and also don't share this file to anyone. Okay, don't share these files. If you share this file, using this file, they can log in into this instance. Okay, which you don't want to do it, right? So don't share this file, and also don't delete it. Don't lose this file. Click on launch instance, and our instance is getting launched. Okay, so scroll down and you'll see something called view instances. Click on this. See here, read this. So our Windows instance is getting launched. Okay, within few seconds our server will be ready. This one. Okay, click on this refresh button. Our server will get ready within few seconds. Meanwhile, let me give a name to it. See, keep your cursor here, click on edit button and give your whatever the name you want to give, you can give it. I'm going to give as 8 AM DevOps. Okay, save. Now this is the server I have launched. Okay, and this is currently running, which means that we can log in into that server. Okay, we can take the remote of that server. What is the type? T2 micro, which means 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU processor. Every instance, every server will have a instance ID. See here, every server will have a instance ID. This is unique. This will not be given to any other server, guys. Okay, this is unique and this is given and assigned to this instance. Every instance will have its own unique instance ID. All right, where we have launched this instance, in which region? We have launched in Mumbai. See, Mumbai, AP South 1A. This is the tag name. This is the name of this Mumbai region. All right, now how to connect it to our instance? How to connect? So select this instance. Okay, select this by checking this button, and here we have something called actions. Okay, in actions we have something called connect. See here, connect. Click on connect, and we have something called RDP client. See the second option, RDP client. Click on this RDP client, and here what you have to do, we have to give, click on get password. See here, we have the username, but we want password. Okay, we want password. Okay, so click on this get password, and once you click on this get password button, you will be asked to upload that file. This file has to be uploaded here. So let me click on this, click on browse, and select the file which you have just downloaded. Okay, this is the file that I downloaded. Select this and click on open. What will happen is AWS is going to decrypt that file. See, that file is having some important content. Okay, some encrypted content is there. It is going to take that content and it is going to decrypt it. Okay, that will give us the password. So click on this decrypt password and see here what you're seeing now. This is the password, guys, and this is the username. Using this username and password only, we can log in into that server. Understood? So this is how you decrypt the file to get the password. That is why I told you, right? Don't give this file to anyone. This is very important file. Okay, now click on Windows button. Click on Windows and type RDP. Okay, type RDP. RDP means remote desktop protocol. So click on this RDP and you'll get this option called remote desktop connection. Click on this. This is the default option, guys. Okay, default application which is used for connecting to the remote servers. Here we have to give the name of that server. Okay, so name of the instance. So this is the name of the instance. Copy this. How to copy? Click on this copy button. Okay, click on this copy button. It will be copied. Paste it here. Click on connect. What it is asking? It is asking username and password. Where is the username? Here. Copy this username and paste it here. Similarly, password. Copy this password, paste it here. Okay, click on OK. What it is saying? This computer is a remote computer. Do you really want to continue? Yes, I want to continue and I want to connect. Click on yes. See, I have successfully launched our first server and we have logged in into it. It is launching, guys. First time, right? It will take some time. Let's wait and take 1 minute. Okay, wait for a minute. Okay, guys. So this is how we launch our server. Now what we have to do, we can start working on our application. If you want to set up your server, if you want to install any application, any database, any web service, anything, whatever you want to work, you can start working on this instance. All right. See on the right hand side, this information is also given. Okay. How much RAM is there? 1 GB RAM. What is the instance type? T2 micro. This is the IP address. This is the instance ID. Every information is getting displayed here. All right. So you can verify it. You can cross check it also if you want from the AWS page also. Same information will be there. All right, guys. So this is how we can launch our Windows server. See, go to File Explorer, right click on this PC and go to Properties. What it is? See the operating system. This is what we selected, right? While choosing Amazon machine image, this is what we selected, right? So that is what, okay? This is how we can cross check. We can confirm that we have launched the right instance or not. Okay, so let me come out from this instance. You can click on this minimize button. See, I have minimized it and I'm back to my laptop. Okay, so once your work is completed, you can close this also. Close this. What it is saying, your remote session will be disconnected. Yes, I want to disconnect. Click on OK. That's it. Our instance has been closed. Okay, click on cancel and that's it. Okay, we are back to our EC2 dashboard. This is the EC2 dashboard, guys, where we can control, where we can manage our instances. All right, guys. So this is how we launch any instance and we can log in into that. Now Mahesh is asking, sir, what is the difference between public IP and private IP? See, when I select this instance, observe two things. What is this? Public IP, and this is private IP. Every server, every instance will have private IP and public IP. Private IP is given by AWS. AWS has given this private IP. Okay, this is for internal communication between this server to this server, this server to this server. Okay, private IP is for internal communication between the AWS servers. Public IP is given by internet service provider who is giving internet, right? He has given this IP. Using this IP only, we are connecting to that instance. Okay, because see that server is in Mumbai and I'm connecting from Hyderabad, which means that through internet only I'm connecting, right? So for connecting that, this IP address is required. Okay, so this is given by internet service provider. All right, Mahesh, I hope that cleared your doubt. All right, guys, so this is how we launch our server. See, since our work is completed, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this. Okay, it is always a good practice to stop your instance or terminate your instance once your work is completed. Click on this instance state. You have three options: stop, reboot, terminate. Stop means the server will be shut down. Okay, shut down. Once you stop your instance, you are not going to get any bill. Okay, you're not going to get any kind of bill. If you click on reboot, the server will be rebooted, which means the server will be restarted completely. And once you click on terminate, the server will be terminated, which means that the server will be deleted forever. Okay, you are going to lose your data if you select this third option. So before terminating, take all your data backup, then you can terminate it. Okay, since I don't have any data in this server and I'm good to go, so I'm going to terminate this instance now. Okay, I'm going to shut down for forever. So click on terminate and click on confirmation terminate button. Once you click on this final terminate button, the server is going to be deleted. All right, what it is saying, you are going to lose your data, so take a backup of it. That is what it is saying. See, storage on any local drives will be lost. So I don't have any data, right? So I'm going to click on terminate button. What is going to happen? The server is getting deleted. Okay, refresh this page and you'll see confirmation. Okay, see, even after terminating one server, the server will be shown for 30 minutes. In this page, it will be shown for 30 minutes. It will be shown. Okay, here you will be able to see it terminated. See, here it will be terminated, and you can see this for next 30 minutes. You can see this. After 30 minutes, it will be automatically removed from this list. Got my point? Okay, refresh this page. It will shut down. Okay, it will take some time, but it will shut down. All right, guys, so this is how we launch our Windows instances. What are the steps I have discussed so far? Everything is documented. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share this document in WhatsApp and also in Google Drive once the Google Drive is ready. And see this video once again and try to launch your first instance. Also, I'll share the document to create your AWS account. Okay, any doubts so far?
How to change the
You guys,
configuration of this existing machine?
yeah, okay. How to change the configuration of your existing machine? For changing the existing configuration, first you have to stop the server. Okay? Make sure that you are stopping the server. For a running server, you can't change it. Remember that point. Next thing is select the server for which you want to change the configuration. For example, take this one. Select this server. Here in actions, okay, in actions, we have something called instance settings. And come to instance settings, and there is something called change instance type. See here, change instance type. Select this button and it will give you the option to which configuration type you want to change, whether you want to increase or whether you want to decrease. The current configuration is T2 micro, which is 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU processor. You can select anything, T2 medium, anything, whatever you want to select, you can select it and click on apply. Immediately the configuration will be changed. All right, is that clear?
Yes, yes.
All right, so see this, guys, see this, terminated. Okay, now this will be shown for next 30 minutes. Don't worry about it, and after 30 minutes it will be automatically removed from this list, guys. Okay, now question and answers. Anyone has any queries with respect to whatever we have discussed so far?
Hi Venkat, Nagendra here. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, hi Nagendra, good morning, please tell me.
Sir, I am working in healthcare, so we are allowed we are allocated Citrix web. So we are working on a Citrix. So in the when we are working on the current I'm working as a client request. We need to work on this Citrix webs. So username password is created for us by an IT department. So on when we are on working on the projects as a DevOps, so we need to create this username password for the someone else.
Username and password.
Providing one desktop to particular user.
You are talking about instance. Yeah, if you are asked to launch an instance and hand it over to anyone, yes, you have to create it. And what are the username and password I just generated, right? You have to decrypt that file. You'll get username and password. You have to provide it to the concerned user. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
that is a part of DevOps activity. Okay, mainly that comes under operations. Okay, cloud operations. Now, some of you have joined for the first time. I know that some of you have joined for the first time. You guys can just wait for 10 minutes. We are going to discuss. I'll just give you the introduction to DevOps part. The rest of the guys who have already joined this course, you can leave this meeting, guys. Okay, we have completed for today. We'll connect tomorrow and we'll see how to launch a Linux instance. Today we have launched Windows. Tomorrow we'll see Linux. All right, guys. So if you have any queries, ask, or else you can leave for today. New guys, please wait. I'll just give you one, quick demo. So guys, we are discussing DevOps. Okay, DevOps, and this is our second class. I just given quick introduction to what is cloud computing in the last class, and today I have launched our first server. Okay, so not, you guys haven't missed anything so far. Now I'm going to give you one quick introduction. See, basically in any IT company, any software development project, we have two teams. One is development team, one is operation team. Who is development team? Who comes under development team? Development team is nothing but the developers, the programmers who write the programming code. Programmers, testing team, and build and release team. All these people comes under development team. Okay. Coming to operations, we have deployment team, okay, delivery team, and production support team, administration team. Okay, IT administrators, system administrators, database administrators, network admins, all these people comes under operations part. Now the development team is responsible for introducing the changes. What are the client who is looking for new changes into the application, those changes are developed by the programmers and they will introduce those changes into the application. This is the main task of development team. On the right hand side, we have operations. Now operation teams is responsible for coordinating with the client. They have to talk with them, they have to discuss with them, they have to make sure that the client is satisfied with these new changes. Okay, they have to log the tickets, they have to create incidents, they have to make the documentation. Everything has to be done by the operations part. So these people have a lot of work to do, and these people don't want changes to happen very frequently. Okay, they want to they want to introduce the changes to that application at a fixed interval. Okay, but development team has a lot of pressure from client end also. They are getting constant pressure from client that the new changes has to be developed and introduced very immediately. So the development team is going to introduce those changes immediately, whereas operational team doesn't want those changes to be happening, very frequently. This is where a gap is getting created between these two teams. These people want to introduce these changes, and operational team doesn't want to introduce these changes very immediately. So how to address this issue? A new concept was created, which we call it as DevOps. Okay, DevOps. Now dev is taken from development, it's and operations is taken from ops. Okay, ops is nothing but operations, dev means development. Okay, it's a two word, remember this. Now who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who is going to use his DevOps practices, DevOps tools, scripting knowledge, and use all these things to fill up the gap between these two teams. Okay, to address the issues faced by these two teams, they are going to use all those DevOps tools and all. Let me showcase you what are those DevOps tools. These are some of the important DevOps tools. Okay, these tools are going to be used, and DevOps engineer is going to help both the teams. Each stage of software development life cycle, each and every stage is there, right? Development, testing, build, every stage has different tools. We are going to learn one tool from each and every stage. Okay, So all these tools, Docker, AWS, Chef, Ansible, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Maven, Git, all these things we are going to learn. All right. So who is a DevOps engineer? DevOps engineer is a person who has good knowledge in software development lifecycle. Okay, the project in which he is working, he should have complete knowledge from where to where the software it is getting developed and where the issue is present. Okay. Apart from this, DevOps engineer should have good knowledge in automation tools. Just now I shown you the tools, right? All those tools should be he or she should be good with these DevOps tools. Also, DevOps engineer is going to have a good knowledge in continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. See, this we in shortcut we call this as CI/CD. So in order to deliver the product to the client, we have to continuously deliver it. Okay, we have to continuously test it. We have to continuously, deploy it, and we have to test it, and we have to monitor it. Okay, so DevOps engineers should have good knowledge in this CI/CD pipeline. We'll discuss more about this CI/CD pipeline in a tool called Jenkins. We have something called Jenkins, and in Jenkins, we are going to discuss this in more detail. Okay. Apart from this, DevOps engineers should have good knowledge in scripting languages. Any one scripting language is enough, guys. That too, basic understanding is enough. Some basic knowledge like Python, Ruby, Shell, JavaScript, anything. Also, CI/CD pipeline knowledge should be there. Good knowledge in configuration management tools like Ansible and server. See, we have a lot of servers we are going to launch, and using this Ansible or Chef, we are going to manage those servers. Okay, so I'm going to teach you Ansible, guys. Okay, Ansible. Anyone is enough, guys. Anyone is enough. And today, a lot of companies are preferring Ansible over Chef. So we are going to learn Ansible and Terraform. Two tools we are going to learn. The next thing is we are going to launch something called containers. Okay. So using this containers concept, we are going to manage them. We are going to, control them. All this knowledge should be there for a DevOps engineer. So DevOps, remember these points, guys. DevOps is not a tool. It's not an application, guys. A lot of people think that DevOps is a software. No, DevOps is not a software, but it is actually a methodology to develop that software. It's actually a process. Okay, so it's a process or it's a methodology to develop the software in a faster way, in a efficient way. A lot of people ask me, Venkat, can I learn this DevOps software and can I become DevOps engineer? I answer them, guys, it's not a software, guys. It's the process to develop the software. Okay, remember this point. Second thing is cloud computing knowledge has become mandatory. Today, a lot of companies are shifting their infrastructure, all these servers and all, instead of physical servers, they have started using cloud instances. Okay. A lot of companies are migrating their projects from physical to cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI, DigitalOcean, right? So we are going to learn AWS in our class. Okay. So this is very important. Cloud computing has become very mandatory. Both freshers and experienced can switch to DevOps. Fresher and experience. Experience means obviously freshers mean people who are from different IT background. Now, just now, few minutes ago, somebody has asked. He's from a healthcare industry and he wants to switch to IT industry. That too in DevOps. Yes, you can. You guys can switch. So a lot of people who are in different background like banking, financial, marketing, sales, telecom, teaching, any background, you guys can learn DevOps and you can switch to your career to IT industry. Linux basics will be added advantage. If you have Linux basics, that will be added advantage. If you don't have, don't worry, because I'm going to teach you from scratch. Programming knowledge will be added advantage. If you have any programming knowledge, it will be a good advantage but it doesn't mean that we are going to do some coding here. We are not going to do any programming here, guys. Okay, but programming will help you to understand the concepts very well, and it will add some added advantage. That's it. Okay, nothing more than that. More job opportunities for DevOps role. Today, a lot of companies are, they are hiring DevOps engineers like anything. They have a lot of requirement for DevOps engineers because they want to automate the complete work. Okay, all right. So a lot of companies are looking for DevOps engineers who can automate a lot of things, and they want to deliver the product to the client at a faster rate. That is why they are hiring DevOps engineers like anything. Just go to naukri.com or LinkedIn and search for DevOps, and you'll find thousands of job opportunities. Okay, I'm not just telling like that. You can just check it out right away. Open your browser, go to naukri.com, search for DevOps, and you'll find number of opportunities. So what are we going to learn? Which tools are we are going to learn? First, we'll start with AWS. So we are just started this, okay, introduction to AWS, and after that, how to launch EC2 instance, how to manage that EC2 instance, all those things we'll discuss. Auto scaling, load balancer, VPC, IAM, S3, and some other services as well. After that, Linux fundamentals. What is Linux? Okay, what are the commands are there? How to control the Linux server? Okay, how to create files, how to manage users, all these things we'll discuss in Linux. We'll have Git for source code management, Docker for containerization, Ansible for configuration management of our servers, Jenkins for continuous integration and continuous delivery, Maven for automation build purpose. We'll combine all these tools and we'll see one CI/CD project, one DevOps project. You can keep this project in your resume as well. Okay, you can explain this in your interviews. After that, we'll see AWS CloudWatch for monitoring, Kubernetes for container orchestration, Terraform for infrastructure as a code. We are going to control our cloud infrastructure by writing some scripts in Terraform. Okay. So what do you need to start this course? You will need one laptop or desktop. You will need one AWS account for logging into that account and launching servers for practicing DevOps tools. And finally, PuTTY and PuTTYGen for connecting to that Linux instance. All right. So we need this application to be installed on our laptop for connecting to that server. Okay, the remote server. What I'm going to provide you is, first I'll give you theoretical knowledge in each class. Once theory is completed, I'll implement that in practical. I'll log in into AWS, I'll launch one server, and I'll showcase you how to, work on that concept. Okay. Once the theory is completed, once any DevOps tool is completed, I'll provide you interview question and answers also, so that you can simultaneously prepare for interviews. Okay, some of you guys might be looking for DevOps opportunity very immediately, right? For them, I'm going to share interview question and answers as well. And once what are the theory part which we have discussed, like for example, today we have launched Windows instance. I'll share you that document today itself. Okay, within 1 hour, I'll share it with you. So the documents will be provided. You don't have to note anything. Okay, you don't have to note down anything. You don't have to maintain books or everything. Okay, documents will be provided. And if required, if you want to check yourself how much you have understood the concept and all, I am ready to take mock assessment as well. Okay, so this will help you out how much you have understood the topic. And finally, by the end of this course, I'll help you out on how to prepare the resumes. I'll give some tips, I'll give some tricks, how to prepare the resume, what things has to be mentioned, what things not should not be mentioned, and I'll share you some sample resumes, some 20 resumes. I'll share it with you. You can take one resume, you can prepare your resume easily from that, and you can upload it in the job portals. Okay, how to crack the interviews, how to introduce yourself in interview as a DevOps engineer, how to explain your past experience, how to explain your previous project, everything will be okay. All these things will be discussed. All right, guys. So this course is for 70 days. Okay, 70 days. I'm going to teach from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday is off. The class timings are 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, If anyone has joined from abroad, please make a note of it. All the classes will be video recorded. All the recordings and documents will be shared in Google Drive. Okay, Google Drive. All right, guys. So if you have any queries, we can start asking. Anyone has any questions, guys? So Iqbal is asking, coding is required? No, no, Iqbal, coding is not required. If you have any knowledge in coding, it will be an added advantage, but that is not required here. We're not developers, okay? We are DevOps engineers, and what are the developers code, we have to manage it, okay? Any other doubts? Please ask. So some of the guys have already joined, okay, and they have enrolled themselves, they have paid fees, and they have enrolled themselves for this course. And I have created a WhatsApp group for communication for time being. So if for sharing the documents and all. Meanwhile, the Google Drive is getting ready, right? So it will take like 1 or 2 days. So meanwhile, I have uh, created a WhatsApp group for internal communication. So in case if anyone is interested to join this course, okay, if you want to enroll yourself for this course, you can join that WhatsApp group. Okay, talk to the management, talk about fees and all, discuss about the fees, and you can enroll yourself and you can join the WhatsApp group. I have shared the link in the chat box. You can click on that link and that link will take you to the WhatsApp group. Okay, so Jayant is asking, sir, can we have offline classes? Jayant, at this moment, due to the COVID new variant and due to some restrictions from government, we don't have offline classes. Okay, we are only conducting online classes at this moment due to COVID restrictions. Second thing is, Iqbal is asking, I'm 2021 pass out, I'm still not in any IT line. Can I get a job after this course? Iqbal, some of the companies are hiring DevOps engineers as a freshers. Okay, some companies are hiring. You can check in naukri.com as well. You search for DevOps freshers. Okay, so 0 to 2 years, 0 to 3 years, like this kind of experience they are looking for. So I think after this course, you can try as DevOps fresher. Okay, once you complete this course, you can keep up to 3 to 4 years of experience. Okay, 3 to 4 years of experience, you can keep it in your resume. I'll give you one example. If a guy has worked for 6 years as testing engineer, okay, so what he can do is he can showcase it as first 3 years he has worked as testing engineer, and after the next 3 years, the last 3 years, he has been working as DevOps. Okay, DevOps engineer. So in this way, he can split his experience and he can showcase it as DevOps. So Iqbal, you can try it as directly fresher. Okay, just you can directly join as a fresher in any company. For every 1 year of experience in DevOps, the estimated package is up to 3 lakhs. Okay, so for example, if you have 3 years of experience, multiply it with 3 LPA, so up to 9 lakhs you can get it in the market, current market. Okay, this is not fixed, guys. Okay, some companies may offer more, some companies may offer less based on the project requirement, based on the dependency, based on the competition. Everything will come into effect here, and you may get more or you may get less. Okay, that depends upon the company's budget. I'm just giving you a rough idea. All right, guys, Any other doubts? Okay, so this recording will be uploaded in YouTube, okay, because this is also a demo, right? So this will be uploaded in YouTube as well. You can watch this video. You can try to launch your instance if you interested. If you're interested in joining this course, talk to the management and discuss about the fees and all, and you can enroll yourself. All right, guys. So this week, the starting 2 or 3 days, we'll be going a little bit slow. Okay, some of you guys might be joining, right? You guys might be thinking how to join, when to join, whether to join or not. So all these discussions will be going on. That's why I'll take this course very slowly for starting 2 or 3 days. And once the batch is confirmed, I'll take it in a normal pace. Okay, normal speed will be started. All right, guys. Any other doubts, or shall we close it for today?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And Iqbal is asking, can you provide any job assistance? See, Iqbal, see, I'll provide you the interview preparation tips, okay? How to attend the interviews and all, but job assistance is not possible, okay? So I'll help you out to get a job, but once you join the job, okay, it will be very difficult for me to assist you particularly. All right, guys.
Yeah,
Any other
thank you,
doubts?
sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you, guys. This was a good session, and I hope I was able to clear all your doubts. If you have any further queries, talk to the DURGASOFT management. They will connect to me over a conference call. Okay, you can talk to me over a phone call as well. Just talk to the management. They'll connect to me over a conference call. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good rest of the day. Bye, guys.